Welcome to the PEI Business Podcast. I'm Jennifer Evans from Stingray. On this week's episode, we are meeting James O'Halloran. He was a biology major, switched to computer science, and today is a leading video game creator right here in PEI. It's a great story. You don't want to miss it. The PEI Business Podcast, brought to you by Innovation PEI. And remember, mark your calendars for the second annual PEI Business Summit. It's happening on Tuesday, April 7th at the Delta Prince Edward. Fantastic day of networking and preparing for the year ahead. Welcome to the PEI Business Podcast. Joining us today is our guest, James O'Halloran from Mighty Pebble. And James, you are our first video game creator in the podcast studio. So we're really excited to kind of delve into this sector, because this is one, certainly it's a mainstream, but everyone is aware of video games, but not everybody understands how you go from creation to market. But I want to start first with, because you have a really interesting backstory. Start university, you're going to be a biology major.
Yeah.
And then you went, maybe not.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, so I was second year biology at UPI. And it was okay. And I kind of just thought there was three options. You can go in biology or chemistry or one of the sciences I kind of had an idea that I was going to do. And some of my friends showed up and they were in this computer science program, and they were building this video game called it was a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That was their school project. And I remember looking at it and being like, how did you make, I was just so confused, how they could make this themselves kind of thing. And it just it interested me so much. And I went home and I started studying, how do you make this thing? And over Christmas break, I actually went and I studied up the first year computer science course. I challenged the credit when I got back in January, and then I switched mid-year to this computer science program. And ever since then, I've just been obsessed with developing and creating things. And it's
Were you always the computer kid as a teenager and growing up? Were you?
I kind of I liked playing on the computer, playing Microsoft Paint, just making little drawings and stuff. But I wasn't out there and I'd kind of experiment with some game software as a kid, but nothing too intense. I wasn't out there programming hardcore by any means, but yeah.
So you really kind of self-taught yourself in
that
first year of switching majors, and kind of was able to catch up and then graduate with computer science.
Exactly.
So then what happened? Where did you go from there?
Yeah. So then I went in the co-op program at UPI, which was really valuable. I tried a lot. I've tried some video game studios here in town, and also just some web development studios, and got kind of a mix of what I like and what I don't like. And and then once I graduated UPEI, I actually stayed working full-time at one of the co-op placements that I was on. So.
And then you developed your first game. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So that first job that I got, it was a startup, and it unfortunately went under. So then I was deciding, what do I do next? I had this game idea kind of bouncing around in my head for a couple years. And it was this, it was called Minor Meltdown. It was a 2D multiplayer game. And I said, hey, what better time to try this than now, kind of thing. So I took 1 year, I kind of built it from start to finish-ish, where I put it in early access beta, put it out there, and then I worked on it for maybe another 10 months after that. So it was almost 2 years from start to finish, and it was intense. I just worked on it all the time. I was obsessed. It did okay. When I released it, it ended up selling 25,000 copies from over its lifetime. And then I sold the IP, which was really cool. But it was so intense and working 100-hour weeks that I just didn't quite have the stamina to really kind of say, okay, let's do that again.
You kind of got burnt out.
I kind of got burnt out. Yeah. So then after that, I took a full-time job with another local studio. But
so how hard was it though? You're in PEI, you're on your own, not working with anyone else, creating this video game. How did you get it to market? How does that process work?
Yeah. So it's easier these days than it used to be 30 years ago. You don't need a publisher anymore. There's platform, I released it on a platform called Steam, which is for, if you're a computer gamer, you usually use Steam to get your games. And anybody, back when I released the game, you had to go through a voting process and 7 games were kind of like approved a day, and there was a little bit more gatekeeping. And I did make it through that, which was cool. But nowadays it's even easier. Anybody can put out, I think you pay $100, you get your access, and then anybody can publish a game on Steam.
So when you say you sold 25,000 copies,
Mhm.
that money goes direct to you, or is there a broker in between that you're working with?
Yeah, so Steam, they take a cut, 70%.
70.
They take 30%.
Okay.
Yeah, 70% for the developer.
Okay.
And then there's also costs on top of that. So I got to work with like a really awesome audio composer that I'd been a fan of before the game, which was cool. And also bring in artists. So it's not all money right into your pocket for sure, but yeah.
And so after 2 years of working 100 plus hours a week, you went, I need a little break.
Yeah.
I'm going to go work for somebody else.
Yeah.
But during that journey, you also had big creative ideas.
Yeah. So that was I was like, okay, let's work for somebody else. And then like very quickly, like 2 months in, I just kind of got the itch to like keep making my own little things. The first little side project I did was a company called Akko Sako that I made with my wife. And we just kind of we came up with ideas where we'd mix and match 2 different concepts, put them together, like pugs and mugs, for example, put them on a sock and then sell it online. So it was kind of like a quirky little thing, but it was a really fun project because I got to kind of get more experience with a certain type of web development technology, and also just kind of like I've never made a physical product before, so that was really cool too. And
still creative, but in a different
yeah, but that was fun. And we kind of started it. We're like, we just got engaged at the time. We're like, is there any way we could like fund our wedding with like side hustles kind of thing? And we kind of did. So that was really
socks.
by selling socks online and markets.
Is the business still
still a thing? Yeah,
we're
it's pretty busy, so we're kind of stepping away from it a little bit. But you can still go to akkosock.com and buy some socks.
And how many different
I think we've got like close to 20 now.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a fun little project for sure.
So after you get married, you've got the sock business, and then you get into the golf game.
Yeah.
Are you a golfer?
I am a pretty bad golfer, but I do like golf, yeah.
So what inspired you to create a golf video game?
Yeah. It was kind of like a few little nuggets that kind of planted the seeds of it, I think. I had been playing more golf, especially since COVID. I took it up. And the thing I like about golf is like it's so hard, and whenever you finally like get a good shot or you finally get a birdie, it's just so satisfying because you kind of go through that struggle.
Coming back for the next day.
Exactly, yeah. So this game is kind of in that world of like it's very hard. It's called kind of hard golf, and you play it and you're like, oh my god, this is a hard game. But it's so simple at the same time, you know, like just like golf, you hit a ball, it should be so easy. But in this, you just kind of drag and release. But
and is it a single player game?
Single player. It's a daily game, so every day you play, there's a whole new hole. So people will play and they'll come back the next day and they'll come back the next day and they'll share their scores and there's leaderboards. And I guess like to actually come up with the idea. I've been trying to come up with game ideas for years and years because I love building these little things. And I kind of sometimes would force myself to come up with an idea. But this one, I was driving home from Halifax, and it was kind of when I like wasn't actively thinking about like forcing myself to think of a game that this one kind of came to my head. And I kind of pitched it to my wife, and I was like, okay, what if I do this? And maybe I call it like kind of hard golf. And I was kind of pitching the whole thing. And she was kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever you say. So we got home and I stayed up until like 4 or 5 a.m. just like prototyping this thing. Like I knew if I it was so simple, I could make it so quickly. I showed her in the morning and she kind of was like, I think you might have something here. So yeah, it took me like 3 weeks to build from that point. I put it on Facebook and just kind of got reception from people that I wouldn't normally think would play games, but they would play the first day.
There's a whole world of golfers out there.
Yes, yeah.
Like the golf simulators, right?
Exactly, yeah.
It's but this they can do from their home.
Exactly, yeah. So it kind of gives you that little taste of golf when you're not on the course.
So it really blew up.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a little reaction; it was a big reaction.
Yeah, it kind of snowballed like very quickly. Like at first, I put it on Facebook. I was like, oh my god, there's like 100 people played my game. That's crazy. And then I put it on Reddit, and then it blew up a little bit more. some Twitch streamers. Twitch is like a gaming streaming service, like YouTube kind of thing. I remember I got a notification from somebody at my work, and he said, "Oh my goodness, Northern Lion is playing your game," and he's like a big streamer with millions of followers. And I was kind of like, "Wow, what does this mean?" And then all of a sudden, there was 15,000 players playing my game, and then it kind of just snowballed from there. Like that streamer is actually still playing it to this day, like almost every day kind of thing, and it's been picked up from several other big streamers. And yeah,
So there's a big number of how many plays this game has actually had.
yeah, I think I'm over like 4 million plays total so far every day. Over 10,000 people play the game.
Because the idea is you play every day.
Yeah, you play it. You come back the next day. There's also people who play like hours every day because they want to get the top score and they want to get it every day. So there's a pretty hardcore community too. But yeah.
And so with that concept, like how do you get paid in that case for every time someone plays?
Yeah, so it's just a free game on web, but I have since added ads to it. So every in like the ad world, you get paid, every time somebody sees an ad, and then the average time is they're on it for about 6 minutes. So every 30 seconds, a new ad kind of cycles in, and at the end of the month, I have an ad partner, and I get a check for the ad revenue.
So not to minimize it, but is this the golf version of Candy Crush? With that complete fascination that people had of Candy Crush during COVID, it seemed like that's all people were doing, and now they've got the golf version of it.
That would be cool. Yeah. Not quite at that level yet, but it's been growing every month, and it's been almost a year now that it's been out, which has been really cool.
It's only a year, and you've had 4 million.
Oh yeah. Wow. So it's still pretty fresh-ish, but we'll see how far it can grow, I guess. But.
And are there tactics for you to further that growth, or you just kind of have to once it's launched, you kind of have to sit back and hope it takes off?
Yeah, like I'm trying things now, and I've got some ideas. Like I have to kind of keep building on it to kind of keep it fresh, because every day there's a new level. There's only so many levels you can make, so I got to add new like water hazards, add like ramps. I just recently added ducks,
just like a regular golf course.
Exactly, yeah. So I try and keep it on theme. But yeah, it's on web now, so I thought about like, should I make a native app? Should I follow it up with a different game? So I've kind of got some ideas, but
is the game based on one particular PEI golf course or just a fictional golf course?
Good question. None I can think of. It's very, very hard. So I don't know. Maybe it's the Crowbush.
The Crowbush level. Okay.
But we'll see.
What's the average score?
The average score is I try and keep it between like 30 and 50 strokes to get to the top. Okay. So maybe even harder than real life. I guess.
Yeah,
so.
50's tough. 50's tough for sure. So what's next for you? Like, do you constantly have ideas? Brewing?
Yes,
you do.
I do.
That must be exhausting.
It is, yeah.
You got a lot going on.
It's exhausting for me. It's probably more exhausting for my wife to have to kind of hear all these ideas.
I've got another idea.
So I kind of try and, because I work a full-time job as well, and I've got 2 kids, so finding the time to make these is tough these days. So I really have to kind of put a filter on and only take on the ideas that are kind of the thing I can kind of prototype and validate very quickly, I guess, like kind of on a weekend or a couple weeks kind of thing. So yeah.
So Mighty Pebble is the company name for all your creations.
That's right. Yes, from socks to games to everything I'm doing.
And will you stay in the video game world, or do you have other concepts?
I think I will now. It's fun making games. I'm lucky enough that like the game industry in general, like there's kind of some tough times these days. So I consider myself very lucky that I'm able to kind of like make any money from this industry right now. And I've kind of got some momentum with this first game. So if I'm to put out another, it kind of share some of the same audience too, and kind of have a jump start on that.
And what's making the industry challenging right now? So many competitors?
Like it's easier than ever to make a game, which is a good thing and kind of a bad thing too. There's also like there's been a lot of layoffs in like the giant publishers. But at the same time, there's also kind of been a rise of these indie studios that are kind of thinking outside the box. They come up with an idea that like it might be too risky for EA to do or not worth their time, but then this team of like 2 or 3 people will make this game and it'll sell tens of millions of copies at the same time. So
Does location matter? Like, was PEI an asset or a challenge? The fact that you are based here, or it doesn't matter today?
I don't think it matters a ton. Like it matters in some cases if you're ever out there looking for venture capital, you want to raise like tens of millions of dollars to start a new AI company or something, then you might want to be in San Francisco or New York. But I think like you can definitely bootstrap from here very easily, especially like if you don't want to raise capital. It's a pretty cost-effective place to live as well compared to if I was living in San Francisco and New York. Wouldn't have this flexibility to kind of be able to take these risks and do these things. So yeah, I don't. I think it's even in my day job, it's all remote now too.
Right.
So I think it's PEI is a great place to build this kind of thing.
So it is surprising that a small market like PEI, we actually have a gaming industry.
Mm-hmm.
And was that support and peer support important for you as you were developing?
Totally, yeah. Like even in school, EA was here. We Other Ocean, like we had some huge gaming studios, and I've had a lot of mentorship over the years from these awesome industry veterans that have worked at these big studios. And yeah, like it's not quite what it was, I will say, and it's just the industry in general. But we've still got a really nice core gaming community here in the island for sure.
And we have a lot of teenagers across PEI.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting in basements,
Mm-hmm.
playing video games, and probably thinking, oh, I could do this.
Yeah.
I could create this, have big ideas. What's your advice to those guys?
Yeah. I would say like go for it, take these risks, especially when you're young. Like it's all just good experience. Even if you put this game out and it doesn't get millions of plays or whatever, it's all just great experience. It might lead to your job, which might lead to opportunities to build more of your own things. And I would say like probably start really small in terms of scope for your first however many games, especially like once you get started. I thought my first game, Minor Meltdown, was small and was going to take a couple months. Ended up taking close to 2 years. Yeah. So it kind of you kind of want to avoid that trap of feeling stuck to a certain project. Like get it out, kind of move on, try different things. So.
And so was Minor Meltdown just too big of an undertaking?
Yeah.
Once you got into it, you realized, oh.
Yeah, it was big. Like they say like the last 10% usually takes like 50% kind of thing. Like all the little polish and getting it to work on different devices and all sorts of networking bugs and all that. So, yeah, I would say just kind of start small.
And did the computer science degree actually really turn out to be a big benefit for what you do?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of people I work with over the years, like just kind of are self-taught and they don't have a degree. For myself, it all kind of depends on how you learn. Like I really liked that structure. The co-op program in particular was just like awesome for kind of getting your foot in the door and kind of learning on the job. So I would definitely recommend the program for anybody thinking about it.
Awesome. And who kind of was your biggest influence or support along this journey? Because when you're working 100 hours a week,
yeah,
for 2 years, you must have had somebody there that was motivating you to, you're almost there, keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, like number one would just be like my wife, obviously a huge support through this. And she met me when I was just into making this game. So she kind of met the guy that's just like
the extreme version.
The extreme version of me, which so
and she still married you.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
Good. That's an ultimate test.
Exactly, yeah. So her and the business community in general has been awesome. Like I was working at the Startup Zone at the time. Tons of mentors over the years that are just kind of helping these ideas, kind of like supporting you, even if they don't all work out. Ron Myers is a big one who was kind of like over the years has just been super helpful. Innovation PEI has been great. I got a grant while I was working on Minor Meltdown, which helped cover some of the marketing costs and that. So there's tons of support on the island in the business community.
You just have to ask and look.
Exactly. Yeah.
Both of those. So you're going to leave us with any little coming up next?
Ooh.
Is there do you want to give us that sneak peek of what's
interesting? Yeah. I've bouncing around a few different ideas in the kind of hard games universe, I guess. I'm going to kind of prototype a few and kind of seeing what sticks, but maybe like a kind of hard pinball, maybe.
Pickleball.
Pickleball's big,
The
so
pickleball's big.
I like pickleball. Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
It could be the sequel to the golf.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
We'll just leave you with that.
Okay.
Maybe I should get some of the rights for that idea.
Yeah, we'll talk.
But yeah, I mean, obviously you've got a lot of career left, a lot of creativity. So it's going to be an exciting journey, the next chapter, to see what your next creation will be.
Hope so, yeah.
Well, thanks for being on the podcast, and we'll be watching to see what that next creation is.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah.